When I was 22 years old, I sold the sexiest product on the planet, car insurance. That's right. And I sold this sexy car insurance to people who already had car insurance. You're here though because you would like to know the number one thing that your audience is always asking themselves whenever they listen to you present. And yes, it has everything to do with how I sold car insurance when I was 22 years old. If you're new here, I'm Hannah Michelotti. I'm a public speaking and presentation coach in Portland, Oregon, and I work with creative and corporate professionals like all of you to speak with clarity, confidence, and charisma. Be sure to like this video and hit subscribe. Here is your answer. Every audience that you present to is asking this one question. Why does this information matter to me? Alternatively phrased, why should I care about the content of this presentation? Why does this matter? Why is this important to me? What's in this for me? Your audience always wants to know why the information you are presenting matters to them. This is a question they are either subconsciously asking themselves or they are consciously asking while they're sitting listening to your presentation. In fact, I know you listening to this video and watching me right now are asking yourself, why does the information Hannah is presenting in this video matter to me? What is in this for me? Here's why this video and the content in it matters to you. When you don't make it clear in your presentations why your content matters to your audience, you are not actually delivering your audience any sort of value. They tune out, they disengage, they no longer have interest in you. In short, you are not persuading them. And I argue in almost all of our lines of work, we are nearly 90% of the time persuading our audiences. If you aren't answering why your presentation content matters to your audience, you're losing them. They're completely disengaging and tuning out. They're dropping like flies. They aren't even showing up to your presentations. You can't get key players to attend your presentations or your meetings for that matter. And those that do attend your presentation are likely distracted by their phone, on their email, or they've turned off their video screen if you're presenting online so that they can simultaneously do something else while you present. Let's change that because that's why you're here. In this video today, I'm going to cover the two most common pitfalls that most professionals succumb to and what actually happens when you start answering your audience's biggest burning question. Why does this matter to me? Very often, I see professionals just like you give presentations that are centered around the what and the how of their content. What and how share very similar information with your audience, but they don't actually share information that your audience wants to hear. These are your two pitfalls, the what and the how. Let's take a look at the what first. What describes a process, a statistic, a fact, a piece of data, or even a graph or a chart. What something is. What is your plan? What is your implementation strategy? What the organizational changes are that you will be presenting on today. The what of your presentation alone isn't compelling. Simply sharing the projected budget numbers for next quarter isn't convincing. Audiences need to know why this information is important, and they need to know why it matters to them. Why do they need to know about a process improvement? Why do they care about an operational change? Why does it matter to them, their lives, and their work that you're talking about an approved budget for the next quarter? Second, the how. Talking about how in a presentation. How describes a process, just like what, a result, an outcome, credibility, or a conclusion. How we came to our conclusion through the research that we conducted. How we are going to increase operational excellence. How we will reach our goals for the next year. The how of your presentation alone isn't compelling. The how paired with the what of your presentation together are not compelling. Simply sharing with your audience how you created a timeline or how you got to a framework or how you created a strategy is not going to convince them to take any sort of action. You're simply informing them. How does not explain why your information matters to your audience. It does not explain why this impacts their daily lives or their work, and a reason that they need to make a change or need to act on it. So let's talk about our other W friend, the why. The why. Oh, not like YMCA. You now know the number one question your audience is asking is why. Every audience is always asking why. Why does this information matter to me? Executives in particular want to know quickly why the information you're presenting matters to them, why you've taken time out of their day to give them this presentation. They want to know why. And by the way, the same is true when it comes to a meeting. If you're hosting a meeting but you haven't clearly articulated why certain people need to attend, especially if you're trying to grab those cross-line of business partners that you don't normally interact with, you have to make clear why they are attending your meeting, what is in it for them. Here is what happens when you answer why in your presentations for your audience. You explain the value of your presentation to them. When you explain the value in your presentation, you get better results from your audience. And when I say results, here's the short list of what I mean. You're seen as someone who's integral to the company. You're seen as someone who needs to be at these high stakes, high value meetings so that you can offer your valuable insights. You get a yes from leadership to proceed with your plan, your project, your ideas, your proposal, or a budget. You win new business. You're promoted. Your salary is increased. You receive a higher end of year bonus or a bonus in general. Throughout this entire video today, I have focused on making sure the information I'm presenting makes sense to you and matters to you, because I know if there's a why in it for you, if you know why my information matters and it impacts your work and your career and you can get results with this video content, you're more likely to subscribe to my channel, come back and watch more videos, head to my website, download my free guides, and even a step further to work with me. It's why I make sure you understand why this content matters to you. Remember back when I told you that I sold sexy car insurance when I was 22 years old? I could have easily sold the car insurance based on the numbers. Here's what this costs. Here's the breakdown of the different kinds of insurance. Here's how we created the insurance policies. Here's what they will do for you. That's not what people wanted to know. When I sold car insurance, I sold what mattered to the individuals I was speaking to. They wanted peace of mind. They wanted ease of use. No one wants to rent a rental car, get in an accident, whether it's caused by them or the other party, and have to deal with returning the car, the rental car agency, the insurance company for the other person, your insurance company. No one wants to deal with that. So I was selling ease of use. You can just pick up the keys and drop the keys off. No questions asked if anything happened to the vehicle and you bought our insurance. I was selling protection and care. Every single person in that car would be covered personally, your personal injuries. I was selling safety. There are plenty of people who are maxed out on their strikes on their insurance policy. If you've run into 4 yellow poles in your parking garage, your insurance company might be less inclined to insure you for another 6 months to a year. In buying the insurance I was providing, you didn't have to deal with that. I sold the why. I didn't sell the what and the how. Yes, did people ask questions about what it cost or how much it cost? Of course. But I sold the why because that's where the value was. You and I both know the number one question your audience is asking is why. So how do you speak to the why? How do you ensure that you're answering that why? Whether they're asking it or they're thinking it, that is exactly what I help clients do each and every day. Make sure that their content matters to their audience. When you can effectively do this, when you can give a presentation with content that stands out and matters to your audience, you gain visibility at your company, you can market yourself and your services and your talents more broadly, internally and externally, and you can advance in your career. I work with clients one-on-one on their presentations to help them with exactly this. And I also offer an intensive program called Present with Confidence that's specifically focused on all of the essential public speaking and presentation skills you need as a creative or corporate professional. We spend a full week in this program studying audiences, fair assessments you can make about an audience engagement strategies, and how to effectively speak to why what you're sharing matters to your audience. To set up a one-on-one meeting with me or register for my program, I've listed all the information in the description box below and Here is my website. Whether you're selling car insurance, talking about operational excellence, explaining upcoming changes to a company, or simply sharing how far you and your team have progressed so far, you want to make sure you are answering the number one question your audience is asking. Why? Why does this matter to your audience? That's all I have for you today. If you have any questions, please drop them below. I would love to help answer them. I will catch you next time. And I will catch you next time. So many ways to sign off with a wave. Won't you? How did Mr. Rogers sign off? Won't you be my neighbor? No, this is the Queen. No. Something like this.